Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Today we are coming to you from the gentrified Maboneng precinct in Johannesburg. It's one of the most Instagrammed places in Johannesburg. If you want to be a part of our tech conversation, find us on SABC Network. That's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Use network at sabc.co.za on email. Our Twitter poll is asking you about safe internet practice. Here's what's coming up in the program. Tech is high on the president's agenda at SONA. Stock trading goes digital.
South Africa is very deserving of that title.
And South Africa named the most Instagrammable country in Africa. President Cyril Ramaphosa gave his State of the Nation address recently. He also spoke about the fourth industrial revolution and upskilling young people. Some in the tech space have some advice for the president. During his State of the Nation address, President Cyril Ramaphosa said upskilling young people with tech skills will help reduce unemployment. He also spoke about the creation of the Small Business Incubation Program.
The incubation program currently consists of a network of 51 technology business incubators, 10 enterprise supplier development incubators, and 14 rapid youth incubators. And as part of the expansion of this program, township digital hubs will be established initially in 4 provinces, with more to follow later. And we expect that these hubs will provide much needed entrepreneurial service to small and medium enterprises in the rural areas and the townships, but more especially to young people who want to start their own businesses.
Those in the tech space are happy about the focus on their sector, but feel there should be specific business areas he looks at.
I'd love to see government back initiatives that look to support startup founders who are looking to drop out of corporate and found businesses with perhaps a year's worth of salary.
And looking at building it up, creating support for businesses that operate in that space, in that particular vertical, and use all sorts of technologies, be it blockchain, be it artificial intelligence, the cybersecurity that comes with it, all of that, and support the businesses that are working in the financial sector.
The president said there will be a fourth industrial revolution commission. This is something that's made the communications minister really happy.
Having a country that has a coordinated plan, a dialogue that is going to be created, and therefore the coordinated effort that will make sure that South Africans are ready to exploit the spoils that will be presented by the fourth industrial revolution. And of course, it means we've got to do everything to try to save the jobs by empowering or upskilling those that are already in the jobs. But at the same time, we will address it at a lower level by introducing coding, as he has mentioned, at the young level, at the early stages, to make sure that they grow up innovative and therefore they'll be able to help South Africa move forward.
The president said some schools will be converted into technical high schools. There will also be new subjects introduced. These include technical mathematics. Then there's the digitization of books.
Over the next 6 years, we will provide every child in school in South Africa with digital workbooks and textbooks on a tablet device. And we will start with those wonderful schools that have been historically most disadvantaged, and the schools that are located in the poorest communities, including multi-grade, multi-phase, farm and rural schools.
Some who work in the space are excited about the further digitization of education.
Kids cannot no longer be reading a textbook when their future is on a tablet, a laptop and a computer screen, on a cell phone. So it's really preparing them for doing animation and VR, for the medical industry, for the engineering industry. All education is going to move into, you can now dissect an animal on virtual reality and study it. You can study the human anatomy in 3D and do an operation virtually.
Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga says while this is important, teachers must also be trained to use these tools.
There's enough evidence that we've picked up from the private school, but internationally, that tablets are not, or your ICTs are not your silver bullet. Your child can still have the best that you had under the same systems. What for me is very important about tablets is to close the deficits we have in the system. We have to teach kids who are deaf. We don't have trained teachers. So we're going to use ICTs for deficits, but we're not going to replace the book, the teacher, and the chalkboard. They're still going to be there.
This year's State of the Nation address showed that President Cyril Ramaphosa is thinking about the best ways of using tech to grow the economy now and in the future. We often imagine stock traders as people who are at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange or the London Stock Exchange, maybe the New York Stock Exchange, but that's also going digital with a new app called Zarex.
While many with a lot of money would trade on companies that are listed here at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Zarex has created an app that allows people to trade with as little as 1,000 rand.
Well, it's like any app that you can download. So you get onto the App Store, it's free of charge. You download it onto your mobile phone. All you need is a smartphone. And you register on the app, and you will see all the market information on the shares that are listed on the exchange. And you register through the normal KYC process, which is all automated. And once you've registered, you can trade. You can buy and sell shares for anything as low as 1,000 rands investment.
It's hard to deny that the world of trading has been one reserved exclusively for those with big money to invest. Will this technology have an impact on financial inclusion?
I think it's all about financial inclusion, because anybody with a smartphone, anybody with something like this, can download that app and then have access to the capital markets. Now, that's not available today. I think we're a first in the market in that we bring this app to the man in the street. All you need is the phone. All you need to do is download the app, and within a period of up to 15 minutes, if you have your ID with you and your proof of residence, you can be legally trading, purchasing shares on the exchange. Data is secure, it's encrypted. All the messages between us, Straight, and the CSDP are encrypted. So the information is secure. We are compliant with POPI, and it's as secure as any other app out there.
Thankfully, the likes of Zarex and others provide a platform that allows just about anyone to get into the world of trading without investing a large amount of capital, and best of all, from the portability of their mobile phone.
Some Kenyans have created a solution that answers the needs of locals.
For Mike, heavy Juliet Alpha Mike. Try.
Rescue.co. A young tech startup from Kenya is assisting with centralizing and coordinating the fleet of private ambulance companies with its new app called Flare. The intervention of this ambulance hailing service is the response to mass casualty emergencies, including the terror attack which occurred at Nairobi's Desert Hotel last month.
Everybody's feedback in Kenya was like, you'll never get fast response. Have you seen Nairobi traffic? And while I have been stuck in traffic in Nairobi many times, and it's really bad, what you get from having location data of the responders in real time, as well as information about traffic from things like the Google API, you actually can send the right responder, even if they're not technically the closest one. They're the ones with the closest ETA, the closest estimated time of arrival.
During the hotel's attack, the first Flare paramedic arrived in 12 minutes, and within an hour, 20 were there.
I was scared, but deep inside, I knew that my presence there would save people. Me arriving there with the ambulance was, I knew that I'll make a great change in rescuing people from that area.
The company said their research shows that 95% of Africa still does not have access to functional 911 services, and they would like to change that. Kenyans are already comparing the new app to Uber for ambulances.
If you want to get in touch with us, it is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about a report that says South Africa is the 5th most Instagrammable country in the world, making it number 1 in Africa.
The finest sporting entertainment, Wednesday nights at 10.
Makes me happy, gives me joy, sing hallelujah.
Do people ever come to you and be like, oh, praise God, hallelujah?
Some they will come and say, praise God.
Praise God.
Abantuan says what? Hallelujah.
Gospel of love. Is my love, hear you say, victory.
Gospel Unplugged, Sundays at 5:30 only on SABC 1.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Now, there are reports that say if you are using a Facebook, or WhatsApp or Instagram, you can chat to each other irrespective of whichever of the 3 apps you are using. Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram users will soon be able to send messages to each other regardless of what app their friends are using. So a Facebook user can message a WhatsApp user and so on. Because Facebook, which owns the other 2 services, will be rolling out a unified infrastructure for them. That's according to the New York Times. The company also plans to incorporate end-to-end encryption into the apps, which will still remain distinct platforms. Facebook has previously come under fire over the way it has safeguarded user data and advertising programs. A Facebook spokesperson said they are still figuring out the details of how to connect their networks. South Africa has been named as one of the top 5 most Instagrammable countries in the world. That makes it the number 1 most Instagrammable country in Africa. I'm meeting up with popular travel Instagrammer Africa Mdolamba. Africa, thank you very much for joining us. Now, why do you think South Africa is one of the top 5 most Instagrammable countries?
I think South Africa is very deserving of that title. In Africa, it's amongst, well, in fact, the best country as far as I'm concerned, the most beautiful country to be specific. The people are very great, the food is good, the locations are beautiful, so why not put it on the top of the list?
What do people Instagram about South Africa?
So you have a lot of different sort of niches in South Africa. You have fashion Instagrammers, food people, travel people, so very different people doing different things, but obviously doing the same thing in different ways. So are you selling? Are you marketing? What are you doing? Many different people doing different things.
So who's Instagramming about South Africa? Is it South Africans themselves or is it foreigners?
So you find like a mix of different Instagrammers. You find international people coming to South Africa and showing South Africa off to people back home. And you find South Africans showing South Africa off to other people who've never been here. So there's a mix of a lot of local people, some international people, and I think that's really great because it's good to hear, actually to find out about a country from different perspectives. What do the locals perceive? And how do international people perceive South Africa?
What's your Instagram page about?
I use it to show off my travels, basically, to show people how beautiful the world is and inspire people, encourage them to travel, because travel has transformed my life and I'd like that to happen to other people.
Explain a bit more. How does travel transform one's life?
In many different ways. For example, before I traveled, I'd looked at different things from different perspectives, and once you do travel, you build a lot of sort of personal skills, how to engage with people, how to lots of skills. I mean, I could go on about what travel does, but I think the biggest thing is in your mind, how you shift in terms of your thinking and how you approach things, problems. There's a lot of things that you can benefit from just traveling that you won't learn in your textbook, in a university, etc.
Do you think people are encouraged by social media to start traveling?
I think Instagram is a very good platform, but it's not the only platform. So you have YouTube, you have Twitter, which allows you to do different things. So Instagram will sort of limit you in terms of what you can do. So I think it's really great to combine the different sort of social media platforms to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Blogging, there's very different platforms that you can combine to converge your message to.
What are those limitations?
Instagram, for example, you couldn't put long caption. I mean, you can put long captions, but who's going to read a long caption on Instagram? You'd rather have that on a blog. You want long form videos, only limited to 1 minute on Instagram. You want to put that long form video on YouTube. I mean, I believe it's better to use different platforms because not everyone is on Instagram as well. So you have people who are just on Twitter, people who are just on YouTube, and you can combine everything. But Instagram is a very important tool though.
If you were to encourage someone to use Instagram to look for a place to travel to, what should they look for on Instagram?
It depends what kind of a traveler you are. To sort of, are you about the party? Are you about the scenery? Are you about the people? You want to experience cultures? There's many different things. But I think, in fact, just make sure you know what you want and go on Instagram. Look for hashtags, look for geolocations, look for different people who are doing what you like. If anybody has inspired you, go up to that person on Instagram, DM them if you have to, ask questions. How do I get there? How do I do this? You can use Instagram for many different things, not just liking and seeing other people.
Would you say that people travel more now because of social media?
Absolutely. So there are many places around the world, in fact, that were not very popular, but now are popular because of Instagram, social media, etc. So people will see a very good location, a very beautiful place, and they'll be encouraged to go and visit it. So Instagram is very influential in encouraging people to go and explore more.
Africa Mdolamba, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
We're going to introduce you to a group of folks whose lives have been changed by a magical number, 1 million. Each of them, through creativity, lots of hard work, and a bit of luck, has started a $1 million business, in some cases close to $100 million in revenue. And they've all done it by taking an otherwise ordinary idea and turning it into an extraordinary success story.
How I Made My Millions, Mondays at 8:30 on 3. Witness exhilarating drama as the youth of Turfloop experience challenges, tests and trials, where life has almost become unrecognizable in their voyage to adulthood. Catch Scheme Sum Monday to Friday at 6:30 p.m. only on SABC 1, Mzansi for sure.
News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Today we are coming to you from Johannesburg's Maboneng precinct. Here's what took place in the rest of the tech space.
Facebook has been ordered to curb its data collection practices in Germany following a ruling that the world's largest social network abused its market dominance to gather information about users without their knowledge or consent.
Facebook collects and processes data from various sources. One is Facebook.com. Other sources are companies and services that belong to Facebook, like Instagram and Facebook. But Facebook also collects data on websites where you only see a little Facebook button, the like button or the share button. And even on websites where you see nothing of Facebook, Facebook collects your data.
The findings follow fierce global scrutiny of Facebook over a series of previous lapses, including the leak of data for millions of social media users, as well as the extensive use of targeted ads by foreign powers seeking to influence elections in the United States.
A time frame for making this operational is 12 months. Facebook also in the future will be able to combine certain data without the consent of the user for security reasons, for example. And Facebook has a timeline of 4 months to make proposals how to shape the data and how to shape this part, the data that can be combined without the consent of the user.
Off we go to China. The first ever fully automated restaurant with robot chefs and waiters has opened to the public in Beijing. The famous Chinese hotpot chain has teamed up with Japanese technology giant Panasonic to open a restaurant where robots take orders, prepare and deliver the dishes.
Back in 2016, we conducted a lot of research into smart restaurants in Europe and Japan. But we found there was very little to refer to. The restaurants had some smart technology, but not for the whole system. That's why we had to take it on our own. We had no other option.
In the dining hall, 6 humanoid robots can be seen moving back and forth between the kitchen and the eating area. Once diners have put in their orders, it takes the robots less than 10 minutes to deliver the dishes.
It's interesting to see the robots delivering food. The only downside is that robots cannot interact with diners, and its service is quite simplex. Traditional waiters have to take care of both customers and these robots, even when there are so many diners, so it adds to their workload.
For the robots, they are still in the early stages of development and the future seems bright. Still on China, this year's Spring Festival Gala was brought to life as organizers used the latest augmented reality and ultra-high definition technology to enhance audiovisual effects of performances at the event. The AR technology was integrated into this year's performances and shows such as the Sea of Spring, Finding Friend, incorporated this cutting-edge technology for an immersive experience.
This time the high-definition images are more detailed than ever. The use of the 4K technology also marks a transformation in the TV industry.
The AR's backdrop for the children's show in the gala was the biggest and the most complicated one which have ever been built. But the use of the latest innovative technologies gave a cinematic feel to the performances and provided more vivid images to the viewers.
% of you say yes, you have all the right tools to stay safe online. The majority at 39% says no. 20% of you say you don't know. And 22% ask what online safety is. That's all we have for you. Remember that if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on News Network at sabc.co.za, on email sabcnetwork, on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. For me and the rest of the network team right here in Johannesburg, it's goodbye.
making you lose your breath every Friday night with Lip Sync Battle at 6. Only on SABC 1.
The belt is yours. How do you feel right now?
I feel like a champ. I feel like a real champ.